Hi guys, it's end of the day editing Kyra here. I totally forgot to film an intro for this video. Yay me! So this video is my top 5 luxury product get ready with me. I've been doing this each week as I've been sharing my top 5 products in the drugstore, in the high-end section or mid-range, and now for luxury products. So thank you for being understanding, and let's get into the video. Alright, let's go ahead and get some makeup on this face for primer. And the first product in my top 5 that you would have seen earlier in the week is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. And I just like to apply this in my T-zone, and I just love, honestly, how this makes my skin look. It looks smoother, it looks more healthy, it looks more skin-like, which is, you know, kind of an interesting claim in and of itself, but it really does. I love the smell of it. I would say that the e.l.f. Putty Primer is a similar product, but definitely not as good as this one, and I will continue to purchase this one insofar as a primer like this because I just prefer it. I just prefer it to the e.l.f. one. It may be the scent experience, but also I feel like I have to use less of the Tatcha to achieve the same results. I also really love this for around my mouth. I feel like it really helps smooth the fine lines around my lips, especially the top part of my lips. I do not have any luxury concealers or foundations, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop off of here real quick and apply those products, do my brows, same story, no luxury products, and then I'll be back for powder. But I wanted to let you know that I'm gonna be using my BareMinerals BareSkin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer in the shade Light, and my Clinique Even Better Makeup in the shade WN16, and also my NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which is what I always use. BRB. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I'm going to squeeze up a little bit of product, allegedly. When I got this thing, and I know Heather Austin said the same thing, it almost felt half empty, you guys. This is no bueno. But I do love this. Oh, darn. I love this for contour, obviously, but I also really love this. If I blend it out, this is just a beautiful bronze color as well on me. So I do really love this product. I have no doubts about that. And I just love how easy it is. I mean, you'll see, even though I was like, oh crap, this is very, very easy to blend out. And this was definitely a Jessica Braun, it made me buy it moment. Isn't that cute? I feel like I'm playing bingo a little bit. Like it's a dabber. Is that what they call those things? Dabbers? I don't know. I haven't played bingo in years. But it's super fun. If you've never played it, and there's a bingo hall near you or a church that does bingo, I highly recommend you try it at least once. This is a really good color for me as well. It's going to last me a good amount of time as well. Even though, you know, I said it doesn't feel like there's a lot of product in the package. Like, you squeeze out a lot of air before the first time that you use it. It takes so little. I don't like to use that on my like chins and neck necessarily. It feels like a waste of product because it is expensive, and I just have better luck with a powder. So after we powder, we'll go in with a powder bronzer. But first, the product that I've talked about an absolute ton on my channel is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and I have mine in the shade 3 Light Medium, and I really use this the most as like a cream highlight, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna just put a little of this over here. Sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use a sponge. Today I'm gonna use the sponge. And I just like the nice soft highlight that it gives my skin. It looks more natural than a powder highlight on my skin, I think, anyway. And it's very quick and easy because you're just using the same sponge, especially when I'm using like a cream bronzer or a cream blush. I will a lot of times reach for this just because I do think it makes the process so much quicker. Let's talk powder. This is my current favorite loose powder. I have others that I use for different reasons. Excuse the wind chimes. I had to open the window for a minute. I'm like having a hot flash over here. Anyways, this is the one I reach for when I'm looking for flawless. Sometimes I reach for Laura Mercier because it's a little bit more powdery and like oil absorbing, so to speak. But the Hourglass Veil Translucent powder, setting powder, is my favorite loose powder, hands down. And definitely one of my favorite powders overall. I have the mini just because that's how I roll when I'm trying certain types of new things, like powders, as much as possible. And I'm going to first take some of that on my ring finger. Normally I do this with a pressed powder, but it works with this powder as well, and that is just setting underneath my eyes, setting my concealer with a little bit of translucent powder on my ring finger. I find this way that I can actually really set the under eyes without having that super dry, crepey situation. It's just enough to keep the concealer in place without making a cakey mess of my under eyes. I'm going to take my big powder brush and go ahead and set the rest of my face. I do also really like this powder for using over cream products. A lot of cream products that I have actually do work over powder, as long as I don't over powder. But this one works great for setting the face without taking away any of the luminosity or color from any cream products I might have used. I don't want to say this is like a special occasion powder because it's not, but when I'm specifically looking to do a freaking flawless makeup look, this is the one I reach for, and it's probably the only one that I will repurchase. Like I said, I'm going to use a powder bronzer for the neck and the shins, and that is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in the shade Tantastic. This is the lighter of the two they offer, and I really love this. This is very, very natural. It's a very good shade match for my skin, especially right now. And I like that it's buildable. I'm just going to add a tiny bit in a few places, just a light dusting so you can get an even better idea of what we're working with. It smells like coconut. It's just a beautiful formula. It's almost foolproof. Not almost, it pretty much is foolproof. So far, we have the Tatcha Silk Canvas and the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder from my top 5. Going into number 3 of my top 5, it is the Hourglass Blush Formula. Now, in the video earlier this week, I showed you all of the Hourglass blush that I own. But the one I'm going to dig into today is the Ambient Lighting Quad, the Ghost Quad from Holiday 2019. And methinks the color I want to go into is this one right here, which is number 2, which is, no, that is not, it's number 4. This is the shade Infinite Flush. And then for the Hourglass blush, I really like to kind of buff them in the skin. And for that, I use a little bit more like a dense, fluffy brush. So I'm going to pick up, ooh, baby. Forget how sort of lightly pressed this Ghost Quad is. but these are beautiful blushes. It just is. It's so pretty. It becomes so natural looking even when you're not wearing a super natural color, so to speak. They just meld into the skin beautifully. It's my favorite blush formula, if I'm being honest, followed closely probably by the Clinique Cheek Pops. Love those. And I really like MAC blushes. I hope you're having fun today getting ready with me with my luxury products. I kind of had a few like talking points that I wrote down. One of them is, do I think luxury makeup is necessary, is the best, that everybody should run out and buy it, that kind of thing? And the answer is 100% no. My e.l.f. blush in the shade Mellow Mauve actually looks really similar to this blush, and I actually think the formula is every bit as good. And I think that about every category of makeup. If I have a luxury product in a category, I can tell you with 100% certainty a similar product in a more affordable price, whether that be high-end or drugstore, that is similar or that would have a similar effect, you know, if it's not similar in formula. So that's kind of my stance on that. I love luxury makeup, and that takes me to my next point, and that is why I buy luxury makeup. I don't buy expensive clothes. I don't buy expensive shoes. I don't buy expensive handbags. I don't take expensive vacations. I don't party anymore. Like, makeup is my treat yourself moment, and luxury makeup is like a super duper treat to myself. I mean, that being said, my husband has purchased quite a bit of the luxury makeup I have as gifts. I think a person could be just as happy with a sweater from a very, very luxury high-end brand as they would be with the perfect sweater from Target. But I think what you're getting along with the product when you're buying luxury products is the experience. But I think that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the experience. You're paying for this beautiful packaging with this little button and this fabulous mirror, and you're paying, I think the ghost packaging sucks, I've talked about that, but the blush is beautiful. But you're paying for this packaging from Hourglass and these beautiful domed baked products, and you're just paying for the experience of it. That being said, number 4 in my top 5 was the Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula. Overall, all of the shadows that I have tried from her. And today we're going to use my gold palette because I haven't used it for a while. I kind of want to use this shade today, which is Python. It's one of her cream to powder shadows, and I've never used it like a cream shadow before, and I tried that with the Love palette that I did 7 looks with. Right up here. Like I said, you are paying for experience with luxury product, but like Natasha Denona, you're not seeing a lot of like cream to powder type stuff at the drugstore right now. I do know that Alter Ego, which is the dupe company from the owners of Shop Hush, I do know that they managed some kind of similar cream to powder product in their Natasha Denona Biba dupe palette, but you know, I haven't tried them, so I can't compare them to this formula. But let's just say this is relatively innovative. I think next I'm going to go into this brown shade up top, which is called Aria. Luxury makeup is not a need. I mean, none of it is really. But some women feel the need to wear makeup. I'm one of those women. I like to wear makeup. I enjoy doing it every day. But sometimes I enjoy it a little more when I use some of my luxury products. Sometimes I enjoy putting my makeup on just as much if I used products that I found at the drugstore. Like, I have a ton of e.l.f. products that I absolutely adore. So, don't come for me. So, next I'm going to take this shade, which is called Aurora, and I'm going to press this on the very outer third of my lid with my phalange to start. Really are the only two luxury brands in terms of eyeshadow that I've tried are Natasha Denona and Charlotte Tilbury, and I really like both. I haven't tried Charlotte's little quads, and I definitely hear mixed reviews on those. Some people are like, yes, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and other people are like, you know, this is not worth the $56. And that is no small amount of money. I think it's $56 for 4 shades, and that's kind of a lot of money. Especially like with the holiday palette, the Starry Eyes to Hypnotize palette that I got for Christmas this year is $75, and you get like a whole palette worth of colors. So I do think I'm going to go back into Python, that cream to powder shade, with a flat definer brush and just put the tiniest bit on the outer third of the lower lash line. I just feel like there's a disconnect between the upstairs and the downstairs. Lime Chrome, everybody's favorite in this palette. I mean, maybe not, but definitely my favorite. It's definitely the one you hear about the most. It's definitely the one that you see people having the most pan on. And I was just feeling it today. I really was. I don't know. I really like it layered over the teal there. I think that's a big part of why I wanted this one on my eyeballs today. I just love the effect. I mean, I love the effect in here where it's like this straight lime chrome, but then once you start layering it over any of the teal shades, it's even better. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out that Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette that I showed earlier. I think I'm going to mix this finishing powder and that highlighter for the inner corner. So we're still following the rules, but we're doing what we want. Okay. Into the highlighter first, then into the finishing powder, and then tap that sucker off. And just a little highlight in here. I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I believe I popped this out for my high-end favorites Get Ready With Me, but I'll be right back and then we'll wrap it up with lips. Alright, we're back, and we are back with the 5th and final top 5 luxury products that I talked about earlier in the week. And they are the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I have 3 here. This is the mini of the Matte Revolution lipstick in Pillow Talk. I've completely finished one of these. This is the more pinky nude of the ones that I own. I also have the full-size Matte Revolution of Very Victoria, which is a little bit more of just your straight nude. I almost call it a neutral nude. And then the one that my daughter picked out for my birthday, I believe these are the Hot Lips or the Hot Lips 2. Again, inspired by Jennifer Aniston. It's called Glowing Gin, and this is a beautiful rose color. I can't decide. I think I just did. Okay. So I think we're going to go with Glowing Gin today. I'm going to first line my lips with the MAC lip pencil in Whirl, going in with Glowing Gin from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, the hot lips are a little bit more of a cream formula. They're not matte, so I like to sort of press it into my lips. I just find that that helps with not emphasizing my fine lines in my lips, which I don't really care about, but I also think it helps with longevity when you're working with a cream lipstick. And this, my friends, is the final look. It's been a while since I did a colorful eye, right? You guys miss it? Do you not miss it? So that's it for today. I hope you guys have been enjoying my top 5 of drugstore, high-end, and luxury series and within my top 5 series, as well as the Get Ready With Me's to go along with. I really enjoy this. I think it's fun sometimes to just pull things out by different like small groups like drugstore, high-end, luxury, pink lipsticks, whatever, and just kind of explore and get back into them and things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you had fun getting ready with me. If you did, let me know down below. What do you think of this luxury face of makeup? Do you think you could recreate this with much cheaper makeup? Because I do. And with all of that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful, feel like luxury makeup days, and I will talk to you soon in my next video.